Hello, everyone, and welcome to Around South Jersey. We've got a great show for you tonight. The Bridgeton Chamber of Commerce is having their annual Business and Community Heroes Awards, and they sent their co-chairs of the event, Omarey Williams and Randi, Galan. And gals, good to see you. So, Omarey, you can go ahead and start off and tell everybody. What I have to tell you, honestly, I look at the people that you guys are honoring. Super people. Every single one of them I know. I don't know Nina Young, I lie. I know everybody else, but what wonderful people that your committee has selected.
Absolutely, and it's great to be here, Jim. Thank you for having us both out. And being co-chairs of this event is very interesting. I think I told you last year when I first became a board member of the chamber. The president at the time was Carol Musso, who you know very well.
Everybody knows Carol.
Everybody knows Carol. Carol's awesome, and she was saying for me to get my feet wet and to get on a committee. And I was looking around and seeing what committees would fit. And she said, you know what, you should go over to the Business and Community Heroes Award Committee. And I didn't know Randi at the time, so it was really great to meet Randi and get to know her. And I was a little nervous. I'll be 100% honest, coming onto that committee. But it has been one of the joys of my life. I love it. I love being able to tell people about these great honorees that we have, businesses, community heroes, and then our Lifetime Achievement Award winners, and to honor current leaders as well. So it's really great, and I'm really excited for this year's event.
So, Randi, how long have you been on that committee?
So I've been on the committee for 4 years. I joined the chamber back in 2018, actually from the very start when I opened my business.
Tell us a little bit about your business.
So I own the State Farm Insurance Agency that's on 49 right there outside of Bridgeton on Shiloh Pike. We specialize in auto, home, life insurance, business insurance. This will probably blow your mind, but we also do pet insurance. So
really?
We are full service with insurance.
Jeez, I got a beautiful cat. I better get it insured.
We have a great partnership with Trupanion. So a lot of people have heard of them. So great partnership with them. We're also partners with U.S. Bank. So we offer bank products, credit cards. So a lot of people don't know that.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's
but
great.
we do all of that in addition to insurance. So I've been a part of the chamber since 2018. Then stepped on and took the role of treasurer.
That's good.
And at that time, started working very closely with Omarey on this signature event. Proud to be a part of it. As a business owner myself, it's great to also be part of presenting other very deserving businesses and individuals that do such good work in the community and give them the recognition they deserve.
And I've been going to it for many, many years, having been a county freeholder and a county commissioner for a while. And every year, the people get better and better. And this year, you've got fabulous people that you guys are going to honor. Now, how do you get together? Your committee votes on it?
Yes. So we put it out to the community for nominations. So next year, if there's someone who you're like, wow, they haven't honored this person or this business yet, you can look to the Chamber's website and the Chamber's Facebook when nomination time come out, and anyone can nominate someone or an organization or a business to be considered. And then we sit down as a committee, and it's usually not super difficult because these people, as you hear these names and as you hear the names of these businesses, they'll be familiar. There'll be people who are out in the community doing great things. So it's not really a difficult thing, but we're always glad to see some people maybe we didn't know about or not all of us have known about that we're able to honor. So it's very cool. And we're really excited. This event's coming up on October 30th.
Right.
And we have a great list of honorees. Just kind of looking at the list here, Our Lifetime Achievement Award is named after Francis Binks Sharp, and our two honorees this year are Gil Walter and Ken McCouch.
I got to tell you, I worked with Gil. I was on the board of directors with Gil Walter for Complete Care before that handsome guy to the right of your screen, Curtis Edwards, took his position because Curtis was his assistant. And I'll tell you how old I am. You see Ken McCouch?
Yeah.
He was like in his early 20s when I was freeholder director. And he was the purchasing agent for the county of Cumberland, and then rised up to become the administrator, a better person you wouldn't find. So, boy, I tell you, that's great.
But it's a lifetime of achievement. And
it is, absolutely. And I hated to see Ken retire because he was so good. And, of course, we got good people that followed him, but he did such a wonderful job. So it really is nice to be able to honor the people who gave so much to the Cumberland County community.
Absolutely. And then as you look, you recognize that name, the Gary Zimmerman Community Leadership Award, and that's more of a current award for someone who's doing outstanding things in the community right now. And as you said, Gil, he had a whole career at Complete Care, and then Curtis has now stepped up in his place. So now Curtis is doing that currently, and he's doing a lot of great things at Complete Care and also in the community.
Yeah, Curtis is also a councilman
City
in the
council,
city of
yeah.
Bridgeton. And I want to mention, too, Gil Walters hasn't totally retired. He and I and Dr. Baptist heads up the Complete Care Foundation.
Right.
And Gil's a big supporter and big proponent of that as well. So you've got, those three right there are fabulous people. And, it's really nice. And I'm so impressed. Randy, I don't know if it's because of you or what, but those awards things move. They don't drag and drag and drag, so.
We put a lot of thought and preparation into it to make sure that we're able to give people their due, but also move it along where everyone is engaged for the entire evening and also gets a little bit of network time.
Sure.
So
exactly.
meeting new people, that's all part of that experience.
Yeah, I don't know whose it was at one point in time, but it was like whoever was introducing them would get up and say, and it was redundant. You'd have them say it, that person say it, and all this stuff. Where the last few years, this has been really good. Now, you must have been around, and you probably were too. I loved the outside one when we had COVID and we had to do it in the cars. I enjoyed my meal. It was like a drive-in theater, and I sat and watched it or listened to it on the radio. Or
creativity at its best.
Yes, it was. Yeah, exactly.
That was a very creative time for a lot of people. So
we'll give a big shout out to Lori Latour. That was when Lori was heading up the event. That was right before we took over that event. That next year we did in 2021. But we were both helping out at that event, and that's where we were able to kind of get a sense of it. But Lori had done such a great job with organizing that because it was such a unique time for all of us to deal with, and then she really did a great job with it.
I tell you, honestly, I just had Lori's son on, and he is as great as you are. This kid is amazing. Guy is amazing. I say kid, he's 40 years old. But he's one of the most popular teachers at Millville High School. He's the basketball coach, the golf coach. He volunteers and got a CDL so he can drive the golf team to their events. He does PA announcing. It's like, wow, this guy is. But then again, he's got a fabulous mother, and his father's a great guy, and I knew his grandpop and his grandmom, and the Latours are there's exceptional people, and they give back too. Keep doing that. And luckily, Lori is now Tony's assistant.
Yeah, she's a member services coordinator for the chamber, so she's still around, and we're very thankful for that because Lori does an amazing job. She's a great help, both Tony and Lori.
She does a tremendous amount for the chamber.
Yeah.
Sure. She's truly his right hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it is. I'm just so impressed with all of them and what they're able to do. But that's just a sampling of what you have in the greater Cumberland County area. And there's so many people. Well, one of the awards now is for Gary Zimmerman Award.
Yes.
And Gary and I served together. This is a true story. It's funny. Gary, I got elected to the County Freeholder Board before you were born. 1982, I got elected, right? So I'm the rookie, the young guy on the board, and Gary Zimmerman is on the board, and he's president of South Jersey Bank at that time, whatever it was. Well, anyway, I had been going to Guarantee Bank, and I thought, I should give support to a colleague. It's a freeholder with me. So I switched from Guarantee Bank to South Jersey National, or whatever his bank was called, Cumberland National, I think it was at the time. So I had two little children, 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and when we'd go to Guarantee Bank, they would give them a lollipop. So I pull in the drive-through at Cumberland National Bank, Gary's bank, and nothing. And the kids were like, Daddy, where's the... I said, Gal, a boy and a girl. I said, kids, you got to understand, this is Mr. Zimmerman's bank, and he is cheap. and I told that story at the swearing-in ceremony, and guess what? he got lollipops and dog biscuits. So I had to embarrass him to do that. But I remember sitting, and I'm fiscally conservative, but I remember sitting on the pre-order board with Gary when we first got on, and we were paying secretaries like, I don't know, $7 an hour or something. I said, that's all we're paying? He goes, Jim, I can fill that bank for $7 an hour with all the tellers I want. Now, this is 1982. I said, okay, but to me that seems, not quite where I'd like to go. But what a wonderful person,
Yes.
honest credibility. I always called him Johnny Carson, good-looking guy, looked like Johnny Carson, and just really a wonderful, wonderful man. And I was honored to be able to serve with him and Chuck Fisher, and of course Kenny McCouch was our purchasing agent, and then moved up to become the administrator for the county. So and met so many wonderful people, and you do too.
Absolutely.
Even now, what's your title with the planning department?
So I'm a shared service coordinator, also deal with cultural and heritage, tourism, and recreation as well.
Oh, that's good.
So,
those two I enjoy. In fact, I think when I was a county freeholder, I know I was on
You were on those
a
boards,
couple of those boards too, which was nice. Yeah.
which is good. And like I said, we have such a depth of people, organizations. Some of these other names that we'll be honoring on the 30th are pretty impressive as well. For our Community Hero Awards, which has been a great piece of it too. Just people out in the community doing great things. We have Nina Young, and we have Gary Fisher.
What does Nina do?
So I'll let Randi
Randi.
talk a little bit.
Yeah, so
about
she's part of Gateway.
Oh, sure.
She does a lot of the Code Blue work.
Yes.
So, I mean, she does a tremendous amount. And you brought up COVID before.
Yes.
I mean, when that period hit, they went from 4 warming centers to 1 and limited volunteers.
Oh, yeah,
Obviously,
yeah.
the volunteers didn't want to come out at that
Yeah,
time.
it's scary.
So that was Nina who
Wow.
really kind of brought that organization through that really trying time period.
Yeah, and of course Gateway, like Complete Care, are two wonderful organizations
Yeah.
that do so much for the South Jersey community and all of that. So what's Gary Fisher do?
Gary is kind of the linchpin now for the Bridgeton Invitational Tournament in
Oh,
Bridgeton.
that's right. He's the baseball star. Because I have
Yeah.
a friend, Gary, and I think that's the other. But I
That's the
like
other
this
guy.
guy. I know this Gary because I've had him on for the Bridgeton Invitational. In fact, I know he was catching, his son was pitching. I mean, what a great athlete.
And an great athlete, but then to transition a career of being around baseball and then to pick up this tournament, which had fallen on some tough times.
Yeah, it sure had.
Right,
Yeah.
and had been a little difficult. And not only to keep it going, but have it thrive for the community, because it really is like an engaging, family-friendly event every year to do. And they have some really fun and engaging games, bring in some people outside of the area coming
Right,
in,
yeah.
and some teams coming in, and then also bring in things like the Fanatic down,
Yeah.
and other guests and honorees to come down to the tournament to draw people out. So, the Bridgeton Invitational is kind of fun. I get to go there every year through recreation and check out a couple of games, and it's always a good time. And he's done a really good job of continuing the tradition,
Yes,
but then
he has,
also
yeah.
increasing
Yeah.
it and
Right.
making
Well,
it
it makes
better.
sense for his love of baseball
Right?
Yeah.
to be doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the perfect fit.
It is. And boy, I'll tell you, I remember going to that tournament when I was like 16, and it was just fabulous. And I love baseball, and I've been over many other times too.
Right.
And Scary's got it going, and just really enjoy it. Get to see lots of people that I know and that have been involved. I saw one lady in that picture who you know and I know works very, very hard over there on the concession stand.
Yes. Our freeholder,
You bet.
Commissioner Carol Musso.
Yeah, former
Yeah, you were
Commissioner
talking about
Carol
Carol
Musso,
earlier.
Well,
Yeah, she does an
she's
awesome job.
everywhere. That lady is
And
everywhere.
also,
Carol's
you
everywhere.
probably noticed Sheriff Donato in there as well.
I thought that was Mike.
Yeah.
I got to tell you a funny story about this. Mike Donato. I never met the guy in my life. I've been in government 35 years. 18 in Millville, 17 in the county. And I thought, I've never met this man. And somebody said, well, you're lucky because he works for prosecutor undercover, so at least you didn't know anything bad. I said, okay. And then when I got to have him on, I liked him almost as much as you. What
Awesome.
a great guy. Oh,
Awesome
my
guy.
goodness, he really is. It's like, wow. And to Senator Testa's credit, all of the people that I've met and Joe Condo and I become good friends. Joe runs their campaigns and stuff, and he's an attorney and really good guy. But I've met so many wonderful people, but meeting him, it was like, wow, what a really nice man. So
Yeah, awesome
we're
guy.
in good shape. You got good people all over the place, right?
Absolutely. And speaking of that, there's some great businesses that we're honoring as well. So we have our our awardees for Zimmerman and Sharp Awards. We have our community heroes, and then we also have some businesses that we want to spotlight as well. And I'm sitting kind of in between two former honorees that both of their businesses were honored at this very event in previous years. So I feel like I'm in great company. We could talk a little bit about that later, but let me just let you know who's being honored this year.
Sure.
So Fralinger Engineering.
We go way back. Al and I were on the board of directors of the Young Men's Savings and Loan that became Colonial Bank. And so, in fact, we've gone on conventions together and things like that. What wonderful family.
Yes,
really
wonderful family, great
Mike
company,
and,
great business. And we also have Starbound Gymnastics Academy, which amazing.
It is. They've been in business for a long time.
For a
right?
while.
A long time.
Yeah.
Not quite as long as Fralingers. I think Fralingers
come on.
started in the 60s. But the amazing thing about Fralingers is this is the second time they're getting this award.
Oh, wow.
There's not many people on that list that are getting it, and 30 years apart.
Right.
So that says a lot about the longevity of their business.
That's so
It sure
true,
does,
and to be able to continue that. And then Starbound, they had some difficulties, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later, but they've just been like a resilient, important business for our community and for the young people in the community. And keeping athletics and gymnastics going for young people is just a really important thing.
Well, and you know what's very unusual and spectacular at the same time with them? They run a national tournament in Atlantic City.
Wow.
So 4,500 gymnasts come to
my
Atlantic
goodness.
City. They run this event, and 50% of the proceeds go to charity.
Which is amazing.
That's something.
Over their time in business, that's over $200,000. So,
Wow, that's
yeah,
fabulous.
amazing.
What about giving back? to the
So
community?
giving
Right.
back, exactly.
Wow.
So, a plug for shopping local. That's not just a slogan
Yeah,
that's
that's-
used by the chamber.
Yeah.
You're keeping business local, supporting local families,
Yeah.
and then letting them support other people through giving back, whether it's sponsoring the little league team.
Yeah, exactly.
I love Amazon too, but there's something to be said about keeping it local. They don't sponsor
No,
your
they
little
don't.
league team.
Nor your soccer team.
Or your
no.
soccer team or anything
Right,
else.
no.
So.
Well, it's funny. I thinking like a Fralinger, or well, not just Fralinger, but I think about Hankins Lumber.
Right.
As they built my house for me. Dory Cooper built it, but he got all the lumber from Hankins Lumber. And again, I'd rather go to Hankins than a big box store.
Absolutely.
And I mean, that's what's nice. And same with Latour Hardware. I'd much rather go in there and see Vic and get the things I need than go to a big box store because, like we talked about, look at all the stuff that Hankins and Latour give back to the
100%.
community
Absolutely.
and people like that. So it's like, shopping local is important to folks. Like, we're talking about they don't sponsor, the big box stores don't sponsor any of the things that kids do. And I mean, they do national advertising, but it doesn't help us locally. They don't sponsor with me, like Bridgeton High School basketball or graduations or any of those things. In fact, when I think about that, without the locals, we wouldn't have those shows on TV because,
Right.
I can't go to the nationals and say, you're a joke, pal. We're not going to deal with you because, we don't have the numbers that they get when they do all the stuff. Anyway, we'll be back more here on our program today with Randi Galan, who is the State Farm Insurance agent, but she, along with Omarey Williams, are co-chairs of the Business and Community Hero Awards Committee, or awards, and that's going to be October 30th. So it'll be right around Halloween. We're going to play this show lots of times, so you'll be able to know about it and come out. The food is great. The people, like, we're talking about, Randi was saying it's a great place to network, too. And especially if you have a business, you get to know somebody else and try to support each other and that type of stuff. So we'll be back with Randi and Omarey right after these messages.
Many people treat their health like a game. With Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Just select from our specialties and schedule online, by phone, or on our app. Our entire team communicates with one another, so everyone works together on your total health. Plus, we make it even easier with all of these additional benefits. Level up your health with us. Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great health care for everyone.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
Hey, check this out. Hernia repair. Ain't nothing, man. Kidney surgery. That's nothing. Gallbladder removal.
That's nothing. Spinal repair. I don't see nothing.
Exactly.
Minimally invasive robotic surgery at Inspira Health. Scar so small, it's almost like nothing ever happened.
Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union is your hometown team for banking. We offer banking which is small town focused and customer based. We know you and we are for you. Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union is a nonprofit and federally insured. Solid as a Thunderbolt airplane, we are your team. Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union, 1601 Cedar Street.
Hi, I'm Bob Millard, President of Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union. Come see us and experience banking as it used to be.
The location is phenomenal.
How many people live in Philadelphia, Boston, New York, the Washington, Baltimore areas?
An 8-hour drive of 40 million people.
The Delaware River, Delaware Bay, Atlantic Ocean, Philadelphia International Airport, Atlantic City Airport, Millville Airport.
The cost of living, the cost of operation isn't near what it would be in some of the more metropolitan areas.
There's a huge market in the northeastern United States.
We're right in the middle of it all.
Cumberland County works.
You need to be here.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. My special guests this evening are Randi Galan and Omarey Williams, and they are the co-chairs of the Cumberland County Business and Community Awards Heroes for 2024, and I keep messing up the process, so I'm turning it over to them. Omarey, all yours.
Not at all. We're so glad to be here, Jim. We appreciate it. We were talking before the break about all of the honorees, and one more business that we have to talk about, which is, I guess, good for this time of night because it's dinner time. So if you haven't picked something out in Bridgeton, you could go over to Inca Chicken Bar and Mexico Travel, and it's just a really good business. I go over there all the time for lunch and grab something or dinner. And, it's just a really, really cool business. So we're going to be talking a little bit about all of the things that we're going to be doing on October 30th for this event. But we just wanted to kind of introduce all of the different honorees. So we have a really good slate of honorees. But really quick, I just wanted to say we're very thankful not only to all of our honorees and all the people who attend, but also to our sponsors. We could not do this event without our sponsors. And our main event presenting sponsors this year we really, really appreciate, and that's Gateway, Community Action Partnership, the Complete Care Foundation, and Cumberland Mutual. And they always are there to help out with everything that we need. And not only them, but we have all of our other sponsors too, which is DE Bottom Line Consulting, Dominion Title Services, Bridgeton School Board, Atlantic City Electric, Century Savings Bank, Inspira Health, Atlantic Medical Imaging, Freilinger Engineering, and Elite Tinting and Electronics. As you see, a great group of businesses. And as we said in that first segment,
they're all local.
Without these local businesses who then pour back into the community, we can't do things like this. Little leagues can't go by.
Exactly.
And a lot of the things that happen in our community just won't happen.
Yeah, and this isn't the last. I mean, other people can certainly sponsor. The event is, as we said, October 30th. We are still looking for sponsors, whether you want to be a main event sponsor, one of the other sponsor levels. There's multiple levels. And there's also putting an ad just in the ad book that's going to be given out to everyone who attends that night.
And there's hundreds who come, too.
Yeah, yes, yeah. So we get a great turnout for this event every year. So it's a great way to showcase your business and as well as support our winners.
And there's a lot of wonderful winners that we've talked about. And this is something, folks, if you come out and you'll really enjoy it. It's very well run. They move it along, and you can network, as Randy was talking about, with some wonderful people. And the Grove does a good job. They really do. I enjoy their food. I enjoy the setup that we can be able to televise. We'll be there televising it live, and we'll show it about 10 more times after that. Somebody asked me recently about how many times their program was going to be on. I said, well, probably about 25. They said, are you serious? I said, well, we're on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we only have so many programs. So it's going to be repeated, and George Kuchi, my engineer, he lines them up all the time for us. But, you know, these are great people, and, you know, this is a wonderful situation, ladies and gentlemen, to, you know, be involved with and come out and have a great dinner and socialize.
Absolutely, and you'll really enjoy the night, and the good thing about the night is that it's an opportunity for us to celebrate the great things that are going on in the community. And not only all of these great honorees are our hometown heroes, our community heroes, our businesses, but the chamber itself, which does a lot for businesses in the area and supports them and does things for them. And the chamber is actually doing something else, which is really interesting, and that's our Love Where You Live project.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a really cool project that the chamber has taken on, because we all have pride in where we live. We love Cumberland County, and we love, you know, the beautiful things that we have, the great businesses, the wonderful people, and the beautiful landscape and things that we have. So as you see on your screen, there's Beacons of Pride projects and grants. So you can scan those QR codes and go to the website to learn more about the Love Where You Live program and what we're trying to do. So basically, we're trying to look at some of the areas in our community where we can beautify and make them better and improve them and continue to make Cumberland County the shining example and the wonderful place it is to live. And the great thing about this project is it's the business community and individuals and the chamber all coming together to make the county the best thing that it can be.
Yeah, and it's a matching donation program.
Oh, that's
so, very important. So if you've got a great idea, you can go on, scan that QR code, put in an application. We're taking applications for that. Come up with your great idea and submit that to the chamber for consideration. Very unique.
You know, it's interesting. You're talking about all the great things we have in Cumberland County. And I had an interesting thing happen Saturday evening, or no, it was Friday evening, actually. I went to Hotel Charlesworth. I don't know if either of you have been
Phenomenal.
There. Isn't it?
Great.
Phenomenal food.
Well, this is what I keep saying. And we used to, and we still do, the county does it. When I was a freeholder, too, we talk about us being the other Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
Well, the people sitting next to me, we got talking with them. They were from Wayne, New Jersey, which is way up. They were staying at the hotel, and they were there and they said it, this is the other Jersey Shore, and we love it. Mm-hmm. And I said, yeah, because we're sitting right on the bay, as you know, from the restaurant, looking at the water. And then they were talking about going down to the Muir Wall. They had a ticket for that for Saturday. This was Friday night. And I mean, and every time I've been there, I've met people from Pennsylvania, from Philadelphia, from, different areas, because the word is out. Sybil does a fabulous job. I told him to. Of course, if we could leave Williams out, you'd be okay, just Omarey. I said, I always wanted to have somebody on my show with just one name. like Elvis or Cher or some famous person like that. But I got Sybil now.
Yeah, you do.
And of course, you guys. I mean, if you don't know Sybil, folks, he's very charismatic.
Unforgettable,
isn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, that's a very good point. Very, very good point, Randy. He really is. And at the end of the meal, he brings out my friend. She's there and brings out a big tray of rings that you get to pick out. And the lady that we were talking to from Wayne, same thing. She goes, "This is amazing."
Yeah,
you're right. He's unbelievable. And his sister Amy was there Friday night as well. But the place is packed. You want to get reservations, folks? Just look up Hotel Charlesworth and call and get yourself reservations because it's some of the best food you'll ever have. We had a restaurant. I don't know if you guys ever gone to it. Was Winfield's in Millville.
Yeah.
And that was very, very good food.
Excellent.
And his is equally as good. In fact, I think one of the people working in his kitchen used to work for Winfield's. But, it's fabulous food. The atmosphere is great. And he is a piece of work. He is amazing. So anyway, back to your goodies that you've got for this, the 30th.
Absolutely, and so, like I said, we're thankful to all of our honorees, all of our sponsors, and we'll just go back through a little bit more because these are extraordinary people and extraordinary businesses. We'll start off with our Lifetime Achievement Award winners, and looking at the Francis Sharp, Bink Sharp, Leadership Lifetime Achievement Award winner, and that's going to be Gil Walter. And Gil, he had a lifetime of service to the community, and most notably at Complete Care. He's
a handsome guy there.
Yeah, and he's run their 21 at the time. Yes, absolutely. 21 health centers. And what Complete Care does, if you don't know, is they provide health care to underserved communities. And it's really important, the things that they do. And they provide dental and medical and mental health and pediatrics and obstetrics and anything that the community needs. It lowers that barrier to entry. If finances are a problem, Complete Care will help you to be able to overcome that barrier.
I think the amazing thing about Gil is he started with a very small group of healthcare professionals. Sure. They had 3 clinics and turned it into 21.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
that is
hundreds of employees.
Right.
300 employees.
That's right. Yes.
Phenomenal growth.
Mm-hmm. Have either of you met Salita Demary?
I have not.
She was just on my show. She's the new public relations and advertising person for it. What a lovely lady. She went to Delsea Regional High School. I forget where she told me she went to college, but she's the new person there, but just delightful. In fact, I'm sure you may want to try to get her involved with the chamber as well, because she's just a very, very nice person. And to Curtis' credit, whoever hired her, wow, you don't get any better person than this lady is. She's just a very fine person. But you're right. I mean, Randy, it's amazing how it's grown. I mean, I've been on the board for 15 years. And I remember we opened that beautiful new building on Sherman Avenue.
Right
off Delsea Drive. And it's like, wow. But now, just opened a men's center in Williamstown, and the new building up here in Millville, the new building on Pearl Street in Bridgeton, and and all the other properties. There's another one in Millville office they have. So it's growing, and Gil was the one who got it started, and it was to help the migrants, which it still does.
Right.
But as you talked about too, it also gives help to those who can't afford it. If you don't have money, they will help you. You pay whatever you can pay, and they even have a pharmacy, which is excellent, and the pharmaceutical costs are very reasonable as well.
Absolutely, and that's a great thing and a much needed thing.
Yeah.
Right now.
Well, and it's interesting. A friend of mine who works for the county. County has good medical insurance, but he doesn't have any dental insurance, and he didn't have any money. So go to Complete Care.
Yep.
And he did. It was very inexpensive for him. He's got his teeth taken care of. And you didn't mention all the other things they do, mental health, drug addiction, all the problems and things. They have a complete gambit. And they work very well with Amy Mansu, who I love, in Spirit.
Yes.
So there's that great cooperation between the two medical facilities.
Absolutely. And so as you can see, Gil's career was great, and he did a lot of things that were really wonderful for Complete Care, but that wasn't all that he did as well.
Yeah, I mean, multiple things. I mean, you can go through a laundry list of achievements for Gil. I mean, just the support and leadership at the Rotary, Bridgeton Rotary
That's
Club.
right, yes. Yeah.
The Chamber of Commerce
Yeah.
as well. Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Cumberland and Salem. Bridgeton Main Street, involved with Bridgeton Main Street Association. Bayshore Discovery Project. And then obviously the Complete Care Foundation. So just a lifetime of giving back to the community, expanding that important footprint for those who need it most. So he's got quite a legacy.
And it was interesting, too, because when we were trying to replace Gil, we're going, oh, my God, how do you replace somebody this great? Well, he told us, he said, Curtis can do it. Curtis was his assistant. And I'm telling you, I love Curtis. That man is amazing, what he's able to do. And, again, the growth that we've had, a lot of that has come under Curtis's direction, and Richie and as Gene. Yeah, again, wonderful people. And that's what it comes down to. I mean, the same with the chamber, same with your business and with the county. And we are fortunate in Cumberland County. We have an awful lot of really good people that even give back. Like you talk about, just they love to help out. Is Paul Ritter not one of the best?
He's an awesome guy.
Yeah. He really
and
he's
you
one
know,
of the sponsors.
Cumberland Mutual, it's one of the sponsors.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. You can turn your head left or right and hit somebody that's doing great things in Cumberland County and for the community, which we think is great. And a man that's also the other recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award is a man we both know very, very well, and that's Ken McCouch. Yeah. And Ken, he had a 42. I'm going to take a pause for that number. 42-year career in the county.
Well, and it's
that's
interesting.
amazing.
I started in '82, so it's 42 years ago. But he was just Chuck Fisher hired him, and he was the purchasing agent. And then the next time that I left the county, well, voters threw me out of the county. This is a funny story. 1991. I survived the Kane landslide in '88. And a friend of mine said, Jim, if you could survive that, you'll never lose. Well, 1991, Jim Florio won the tax toilet paper. And I was a Democrat. I was a Jim Florio Democrat. So they threw me out in 1991. And the guy I had mentioned earlier, Joe Condo, who's a Republican, I was freeholder director in '89, '90, and didn't want to do it in '91. I was running and lost. He won in '91 and became the first ever Republican freeholder director for Camden County, and he lasted 3 years, and that's it. Camden County's going back to Democrat. So he and I have a lot in common with Jim Florio. Jim cost me my job and gave him his job.
Isn't it funny how politics works?
It sure is. Yeah, it makes strange bedfellows sometimes.
40 years. I mean, that's an incredible career.
It is, isn't it?
It's
he was
an amazing amount of time.
Yeah.
And not only that, but he worked his way through, and he did a lot of things in his time. And county purchasing agent, that is a major job.
It sure is.
You're dealing with municipalities, you're dealing with the state and federal government. You're dealing with all of the things that need to be done and procured for the county and the different departments. So he did a lot of things in those roles, and then going from there to becoming county administrator, that experience that he had was immeasurable. To be able to do that. And while he was county administrator, he was able to do a lot of things, like get a lot of projects done.
Well, what amazed me when you look back at the things that he was a part of, within a 20-year period, that was the county jail expansion. I mean, most people would say they have one thing to look at and say, I did that.
Yeah.
Within 20 years, it was the county jail expansion, the sheriff's office, 911 center, and the emergency management office expansion, the courthouse. I mean, the projects.
Yeah.
I mean, what a laundry list of things that have made such a difference in the county. But most people tackle one project and say, okay, that's what I did, and I attach my name to that. But I mean, he's got 5 or 6 huge projects that he accomplished in 20 years, which is amazing.
And I'm telling you, from the day I met him when he was a kid in his early 20s, I was so impressed. Very impressive the way he operated, the job he did. And I give Chuck Fisher a lot of credit. Chuck was freeholder director when I first got on in 1983. This was actually the first year I started. And he told me, he said, this Ken McCouch is a good kid. And he was, and still is. And I know we tried to get him to do it, I won't say where, but see if he would do administrative work someplace else too after he'd retired. And he said, no. But I'm just a wonderful, wonderful man. And this is what's nice, though. I mean, this is your peers, your people that you've lived around and worked with and grown up with and all that stuff, who say, you know what, you deserve this honor. And it's really nice of the Greater Bridgeton Chamber to do this as well for him.
And that's what we were looking to do with this award. And then in addition to those two honorees at the Leadership Award, now we're looking at the Gary Zimmerman Leadership Award, so Lifetime Achievement now to Leadership. And you talked about him a lot earlier, but Curtis Edwards, you know?
Yeah. Super guy.
Just an awesome guy, and he's done so much. And you know, you talked about all the things that Gil did to set up Complete Care, to get it rolling.
Right.
And then Curtis took the ball
Yes.
and then took it to another level.
He sure did.
And I think that's super, super impressive.
It really
Well,
is.
the expansion on Sherman Ave,
Yeah, oh God, that building's beautiful. I was just so happy that when we opened that up.
huge accomplishment.
Isn't it?
And expanding their footprint. And then also the leadership during COVID. I mean, you
Right.
can't understate that enough. What a challenging time
Yeah, that's true.
for our entire country, but especially for healthcare. So leading the troops through that, and being able to still support the community in the way that they
Yeah.
did,
Yeah.
just amazing.
We're talking with wonderful people here, Randi Galan and Omarey Williams, who are the co-chair of this event that you're going to be seeing. It's going to be on the 30th of October. Please put it in your calendar. Come out. I promise you it'll be one of the nicest events you've gone to, and it's the Business and Community Heroes Award. And we'll be back with more right after these messages.
Many people treat their health like a game. With the Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Our mental health services focus on the emotions and behaviors that affect your overall well-being and features psychiatric, counseling, and addiction services, including our exclusive Fresh Start program, designed to help combat the opioid epidemic in our communities, plus all the other specialties you expect from Complete Care. Level up your health with us. The Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great healthcare for everyone.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
The location is phenomenal.
How many people live in Philadelphia, Boston, New York, the Washington, Baltimore areas?
An 8-hour drive of 40 million people.
The Delaware River, Delaware Bay, Atlantic Ocean, Philadelphia International Airport, Atlantic City Airport, Millville Airport.
The cost of living, the cost of operation isn't near what it would be in some of the more metropolitan areas.
There's a huge market in the northeastern United States.
We're right in the middle of it all.
Cumberland County works.
You need to be here.
Hey, check this out. Hernia repair. That ain't nothing, man. Kidney surgery. That's nothing. Gallbladder removal.
That's nothing. Spinal repair. I don't see nothing.
Exactly.
Minimally invasive robotic surgery at Inspira Health. Scar so small, it's almost like nothing ever happened.
Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union is your hometown team for banking. We offer banking which is small town focused and customer based. We know you and we are for you. Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union is a nonprofit and federally insured. solid as a Thunderbolt airplane, we are your team. Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union, 1601 Cedar Street.
Hi, I'm Bob Millard, President of Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union. Come see us and experience banking as it used to be.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. Our two co-chair of the Business and Community Heroes Awards on 2024 are here with Randi, Galan, and Omarey Williams. And guys, take it.
Oh, well, we
It's all yours.
appreciate you having us in, Jim.
You two are wonderful. Thank you for the good job you did. It's been
Our
great.
pleasure, and it's a great time, and we'll look forward to having you at the event, and being a former honoree, you know how great this event is, and how much
chamber
of a time
member.
it is. And chamber member, and going to be helping us with the live broadcasting, which we appreciate as well. So, as I said, we're just very grateful to you as always.
My pleasure.
So we were talking about our business heroes, and one of the other ones was Inca Chicken, and that's Hector Bonilla. And Hector is an awesome guy, and he's really doing a lot for our area, and really trying to revitalize the area and really make Inca Chicken into a big thing and have a big impact on Bridgeton. But it's interesting because a lot of people like this have humble beginnings, and Hector's one of those guys. He came over from Puerto Rico at 14, and he started by blueberry picking. And so we went from that and got some education, and eventually became a computer tech, and kind of worked his way through some different organizations and working at some of the casinos like Bally's and Caesars and AC, and now starting his own business and really making a huge impact in Bridgeton.
Yeah, I mean, what's very different about Hector is he's started these businesses up from scratch. That was not his background.
Wow.
True entrepreneurship at its best. Seeing an opportunity, he saw the space in downtown Bridgeton in 2018 and said, I think I'm going to do something with that. I'm going to open up a travel agency.
Right.
So he started there, and then kept the ball rolling. Didn't stop, even though COVID hit, where the rest of the world stopped. He still had big plans, and then bought the old Bridgewater pub. So that's where his location is. So if anybody doesn't know where Inca Chicken is, you might recognize the old pub.
Yep.
And that's what he's built into Inca Chicken. And he did that in 2021. So
Crazy.
where a lot of restaurants, still really hadn't rebounded, he opened right after that.
Wow.
So pretty phenomenal, and definitely a testament to Hector and his own resilience. So not only did he open a business, but he completely did the construction of that himself. So
wow.
Yeah. So here you're talking about somebody who is literally self-made, and doing all the
Talented, too.
construction. And has made that into not just a restaurant, but it's also an entertainment space.
Yep.
So
That's right. My friend Fred goes and does karaoke there for him.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. Does a great job.
So looking for a local place where you can use a room, get some good food, and entertain. That Inca Chicken is definitely a great one. And he's not done yet. He actually bought the location where the Laurel Theater
Oh my goodness.
was. So
That's fantastic.
so we're going to be hearing more from Hector as he expands into Bridgeton.
That's
So
great.
we're very happy to have him and the fingerprint that he's laying out in the local downtown.
It's been amazing. So, Hector's is pretty impressive, and that's with all of our honorees. They're all really impressive. And one of our other business honorees is Fralinger Engineering. And Jim, as you were saying earlier, the family behind it is excellent.
Yes.
And then all the people that work there are excellent as well. And we're very thankful to have them as one of our honorees.
Yeah, I mean, in business since the 60s, small family-run business, but they've expanded, 35 employees.
Wow.
All local employees, but they are full service. So they have licensed professional engineers, certified municipal engineers, professional land surveyors, environmental specialists, AutoCAD draftsmen, and as well as construction inspectors. So their reach is broad. They have definitely expanded that business. So not just doing what you may think around surveying, but doing a lot with the municipalities.
Absolutely, and they serve as the municipal engineer or land use board for 23 municipalities.
I know Upper Deerfield they do.
Right, for Upper Deerfield's one of them, across Atlantic, Cape May, Cumberland, Gloucester, and Salem counties. That's pretty impressive.
Sure is.
To be able to cover that kind of area and also cater to our community as well and do great work.
Yes, they do.
And they have a great reputation. So, when you continue to do good work, you deserve to be honored. And we're really glad to be able to do that.
Yeah, and second time in 30 years.
Right.
So here we are for
deserved.
round 2 as a business hero. So that says a lot about Fralinger.
Sure does.
Absolutely. And then we're looking at one of our other businesses, which is really kind of neat to me to be able to honor Starbound Gymnastics Academy. And they're really cool. They've been around for 30 years. They started off kind of that humble beginnings thing. They started off in Carl Corner and with 300 students. And then they grew so much they had to move to another location in Upper
beautiful
Deerfield.
building, right?
That building is beautiful as you drive down Landis.
Yes, exactly.
It's awesome to be able to drive by and see. But what's even more awesome is what's going on inside, and all of these young people being able to live out their dreams and to be able to continue to be athletic and successful on a grand scale, which is very cool. And that's really neat because they suffered a really difficult situation when their building was struck by lightning.
Oh, my goodness.
And the fire marshal had deemed the building a complete and total loss. And then from that, they were able to rebuild and continue on with the great quality of service that they've been able to do the community. So it's really cool that they've been able to continue to do that and be resilient. And I think that's awesome. And it's an awesome example to all their students as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So not only the 500 plus customers that they have, a lot. And these are gymnasts that go on to state and regional titles. And compete on these huge stages that they do, being trained locally at Starbound. So not only do they do that, I think we touched on it a little bit earlier, is how much they give back. So we mentioned their invitational tournament, where they give 50% of the proceeds to charities such as CHOP. So really doing important work.
Absolutely.
But they also support Code Blue in several towns. They do toy drives. So they do a lot for the community, give back to the community. So they're definitely a great honoree this year in our class of honorees.
Absolutely. We're very grateful. We have a lot of great people and 3 great businesses there that have a great impact on the community.
Yes, for sure.
Absolutely. And now we also have our community hero honorees. So we want to spotlight some people who may not get recognition for all the great things out there that they're doing in the community. And one name that was presented to us that we were all really impressed by was Nina Young.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we kind of think of the community award as our unsung heroes. People who work tirelessly in the community, but don't always get the recognition. Sometimes they don't want it. Sometimes they like to just be behind the scenes, but they do so much. And Nina is definitely one of those people. She's an employee at Gateway Community Action Partnership. She, after 30 years in advertising, decided to go back to school and get her early childhood education degree at Cumberland County College.
Amazing.
She went on to do some work within Bridgeton, teaching Latinos to speak English.
Oh, that's true.
So she got right into that, and that led her in 2014 to meet Mayor Albert Kelly of the great city of Bridgeton, who is the president and CEO of Gateway. So that led her to become more involved with Gateway and then more involved with Code Blue. So Code Blue is 100% volunteer run. So let that sink in.
Yeah.
Right.
extremely hard to do. And they do such important work, but they're 100% volunteer run. And Nina organizes that. They have 4 warming shelters, so super important in our bitter winters that we have. That are coming up. So they operate those. And during COVID, I mean, we keep bringing up COVID, but that had such a lasting effect on different people for different reasons. But she led Code Blue through that time for those people. She never, let her focus be on anything but the people that they were serving.
It's amazing. And we're very grateful to Nina for not only the things that she did at Gateway, but also Code Blue and other projects in the community like Village of Hope, which is a partnership between Gateway, Kintalk, and the Reentry Coalition. So she's done like a lot of things in the community. So it's not hard once you start to hear these people's bios and understand the impact that they have on the community. We also, we were talking about athletics a little bit earlier with the gymnastics, but our other community hero, Gary Fisher, is an athlete all on his own, right?
Heck of a baseball player, that's for sure.
Heck of a baseball player.
Very good, yeah.
So, he began being involved in the Bridgeton Invitational Tournament as a player in 1979. He played on 7 different teams. He was selected as an MVP at one point and played on 2 championship teams and has the tournament record for most games played. That's pretty impressive. So not only did he have that longevity, but he also was great at the sport as well, and taking his love of baseball and sharing it with future generations as well, which I thought pretty spectacular.
And not just sharing. I mean, he stepped in at a very challenging time where the Invitational was really threatened to see if that could really continue. So, sometimes things don't run smoothly as you would want it to do. But this is one of the premier sporting events that is so local to Bridgeton. And he stepped in during a challenging time, came up with, some very unique solutions, which also included changing the timing of it, making sure that this will stay as a viable event, and bringing in the folks that come in from all over to enjoy it.
Which is super cool. And it's such a fun event. That week is so fun. And the one game that stuck out from this year was the police versus fire. That's just so cool. Like, I just think things like that are unique and fun. And he does a great job with keeping it going and keeping a great sport in the forefront for all of us to enjoy. So those are our honorees. We are very, very excited. Would you say, Randy, like, very excited about all the great people and businesses that we can celebrate?
Just an amazing class of individuals that we're going to be celebrating this year. We invite the public to come out. Please come out, support the very deserving folks in our community. Come out, network, meet people, have a great night, enjoy good food. The event is at the Grove at Centerton, and it is on October 30th. You can get tickets. You can scan that little QR code that's on your screen right now. You can go to the CumberlandGrows.com site, or you can call the Chamber office at 856-455-1312, and they'll get you hooked up with a seat for the evening. It's going to be a great event.
It's always a good time, and I really enjoy just being able to come out and spend time. I get to see you. If I don't see you here, I see you at the event, and we get to spend time together, and it's always a good time. We're very thankful to be able to do that event because of our sponsors, and especially our presenting sponsors for the evening, which will be Gateway Community Action Partnership, Complete Care Foundation, and Cumberland Mutual. So you mentioned Paul Ritter again, and Mayor Paul Ritter, and those great organizations.
Yeah, I mean, Curtis, businesses. Paul, and the mayor. I mean, 3 wonderful, wonderful people, and it's super. But I want to commend you guys. I mean, honestly, Randy and Omarey, what a wonderful job you've done here, and the time you put into this and helping get this program going is lots on your plate to do, but you've done it well for many years, right? and
Yeah,
it's
well-
something you enjoy doing. And you know what's? I got good news for you. You're never going to lose a position because you do it so well. And Tony, make sure you make that
We have great
lifetime
help.
contract. Yeah.
Tony, Lori,
Oh,
and our committee.
That's
It's a
true.
group-
You
It's
bet.
a group
Yes,
effort.
Tony is phenomenal. Lori is fabulous. I mean, what a great group of people you have at the Greater Bridgeton Area Chamber of Commerce. You really do. And you two are certainly two great examples of what you do for the Greater Bridgeton Area Chamber of Commerce. And come out. It's great. And you'll fellowship with nice people like my guests here and all the honorees, and go up and shake their hand and congratulate them on being honored. And a great job, guys, tonight. Thank you for coming in.
And
It's
we
good
would
to
be
see you.
remiss if we didn't say thank you to you.
You're more than welcome.
Thanks so much for having us,
My
Jim.
pleasure,
Really
Randy.
appreciate
It's
it.
great to have you guys here. It's what we're here to do. And I thank you, George Kachia, for producing the show tonight. And for my guests, Randy Galan of Galan State Farm Insurance Agency, and Omarey Williams, who is the Shared Service Coordinator for the County of Cumberland. And they are the co-host for the 38th Annual Business and Community Awards Ceremony. So join us. Come on out and have fun. Take care. Good night, everybody.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.